So hi there and welcome back. So today in this video we are starting a brand new series which is, as you can see on your screens, NGRX. That's the reactive state for Angular. Now those who are already familiar with Angular is a Google powered web development framework which can run across multiple platforms. Now this platform is available for TypeScript developers. Okay, so those who know TypeScript can easily work in Angular. Now for this course, we will be using Angular version 16, but to be very precise, the latest version is Angular 17, which was released by Google a couple of months later. Now this can vary when you're watching this video, but at the time of this recording, Angular 17 was released in November. This course contains the 16th version, and because that's stable and the community support is great, so I will be continuing to explore NGRX, that's the reactive state library for Angular for managing state management solutions, will be provided in this. Now with the Angular, already if you know RxJS is super cool. So if we can go and search for RxJS, so RxJS is the reactive state library for JavaScript. Now Angular heavily rely on RxJS for state management solutions. But most of the time it becomes really difficult for us to manage state when you are working in a big uh, corporate or product application. So at that time, NGRX can really be handy for you to work for state management solutions in your Angular application. Now, RxJS rely very deeply on a concept known as Redux. Now, the Redux concept is really great and is available for wider scope of frameworks like React, Angular, NGRX, Vue, and many more libraries and frameworks. Now, NGRX, that's the reactive state for Angular, helps you to manage the state as its NGRX store provides reactive state management for Angular apps inspired by Redux. As I told you, unify the events in your application and derive state by using RxJS, as I already told you that it totally relies on RxJS. Now isolate side effects. NGRX effects gives you a framework for isolating side effects from your components by connecting observables of actions to your store. So that's really beneficial. Unlock productivity. NGRX semantics helps you to avoid writing common boilerplate and instead focus on building your application. So supported by the community and our sponsors NX, start building reactive state application by today. So for this, we will study this thing in great advance, okay, and we will be seeing NGRX with Angular, how it works, how it behaves, how it gets installed, and how you need to set up your application in order so that your NGRX can be incorporated into your entire Angular application. Now we can click on get started over here, and in this you see bunch of things. Now NGRX relies on few of the things like the state. State has different solutions, okay. It also has a data, which is the NGRX data, okay. And if you go for the overview, NGRX data is an extension that offers a gentle introduction to NGRX by simplifying management of entity data while reducing the amount of explicits. So right now we are not concentrating on the data, but for this course of action, we will be checking out the state, this one. Now in the state, we have the store, we have the effects, we have the router, the entity, component source, signals, and operators. Course focus would really rely on the store and on the effects. Now these signals, component store, entities are much more advanced versions, and for this we will totally rely on store and effects, as these are one of the core key concepts which you will find during your uh, corporate level or your professional levelism. Either you are building a project for your own, or you are working for a company, or you are working on a contract. All of these things will really help you. Now it also brings you some developer tools. Now developer tools are like store dev tool, where if we see for this, store dev tool provide developer tools and instrumentation for your store. So there are a few steps how we can set up the store, but more on that will become later in the course. We will see the installation and much more things, right? But if we see the introduction, we can just start with, if I can zoom in a bit, we can start with what is NGRX. So NGRX is a framework for building reactive applications in Angular. NGRX provides libraries for managing global and local state, isolation of side effects to promote a cleaner component architecture, entity collection management, integration with the Angular router, developer tooling that enhances developer experience when building many different types of applications. So what are packages could be there in NGRX? So NGRX packages are divided into a few main categories. If we see, the categories are the state, the data, view, and developer tools. In the state, we have the store. Store is nothing but a main area where your entire data collection takes place. So store NGRX powered global state management for Angular apps inspired by Redux. Effects, side effects model for NGRX store. Router store, binding to connect the Angular store to NGRX store. Entity, entity state adapter for managing record collection. Component store, standalone library for managing local component state. Signals, reactive store, and set of utilities for Angular signals. Now we are not utilizing the power and the new feature of Angular. So Angular signals, we won't be diving into this. Standalone library for managing local state of component. We won't be diving into this. Shared RxJS operator for NGRX library. Yeah, we can look at the operators. We can look at the side effects, because side effects are nothing but whatever asynchronous task we would be doing, so that we can support pure functions concept. More on this will be coming in the later part of this video, of this course, sorry. And the store is the main thing where we will be diving into this. So store, if we grab a direct thing, we should look at this diagram. So within this diagram, you can see that NGRX state management lifecycle is somewhat like this. Now, here you can see bunch of things: the selector, the component, the store, the reducer, the action, the effects, and the services. But let me simplify you this concept. It's not that difficult, but most of the things starts with your component, this one. Now let's say you are having a home component, okay, and the home component have a refresh button, and that refresh button will help you to simply refresh all the dashboard items, widgets which are available to your home screen. Now on your component, you probably have some actions like refresh, actions like logout, login, search. Those are your actions, okay? So these actions simply go to your reducer. Reducer is nothing but a feature which will help you to manipulate your state, okay? It will help you to manipulate your state without damaging all the data. It just it just modifies the data, okay? It stores the entire state of your application, but only modifies a part of the state in order to update each and everything on your UI. More on this will be helpful when we see the practical of this. Now this reducer goes to the store, okay, and the store helps you to select a particular part of that thing. Let's say you go to a mall but you only want to buy some chips, so you will go to the grocery section and from there you will pick the chips. You won't go into the wardrobe section, or you won't go into the gaming section. You will just go to the grocery part and then you will grab that thing. So selector deals with some sort of a selection thing, okay, from the entire store, and then that selector again incorporates your component, and then this cycle goes on. But whenever you want to make some asynchronous requests, that means you want to step out of your comfort zone and take some API calls, or grab the data from the API, or so do some modifications of CRUD based system via asynchronous calls. At that time your action totally rely on the effects. These are known as side effects, okay. These effects then deal with the service, Angular services, and those Angular services then communicate with the databases and vice versa. So this is how your NGRX cycle works. So there are much and much more things how we are going to deal with all of those things. Okay, so it's going to be an amazing journey. We are going to see lots and lots of things in NGRX. This entire course won't be so long as we have the Angular entire course, but yeah, whatever we'll learn are totally based on the practicals, what you get in your real life when you're working with some product which utilizes the power of Angular with NGRX. So this was pretty much it regarding this intro video. Thanks for watching, and I will now see you in the next one.